Welcome back, guys. Mrs. Matheson here to lead you through Unit 7, Notes 3 on combinations. Our learning target is I can use combinations to determine the number of outcomes for a given situation. So we're going to look at this. Our first example says that we have 5 teams on a basketball league and we have to have 2 of them play against each other. How many different matchups are there? Instead of giving them names, let's just call them A, B, C, D, and E. So our possible matchups, we could have A against B, A against C, A against D, and A against E. We could have B against A, B against C, B against D, and B against E. We could have C against A, C against B, C against D, C against E. We could have D against A, D against B, D against C, and D against E. And finally, we could have Team E play against A, against B, against C, and against D. Now think about when you're in a basketball tournament. If we have Team A playing against B, isn't that the same thing as having B play against A? Yeah. So if we have the same 2 letters matched up, we can actually cancel them out because those ones were all represented right here. So B against C is the same thing as CB, B against D, same as DB, and B against E is the same as EB. CD is the same as DC, and CE is the same thing as EC. DE and ED are the same thing. So what we have left are these possible ones here. So let's count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there are 10 different games that we could play. So what makes this different than our permutations is that the order doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you say A is playing against B or B is playing against A. That's the same game we're talking about. So these are combinations. Combinations is when you have an arrangement or listing of objects in which order is not important. Remember, A against B and B against A are the same thing. They're not important. So that makes our formula for combinations a little bit different than for permutations. N still is going to represent our total, and R is still going to represent the number we are choosing. All right, the only thing that's going to be different here is that we have that R factorial now at the end added on. Okay, so let's go ahead and use these just starting with the basic formula. So our N is 6 and our R is 2. So we're going to have 6 factorial over 6 minus 2 factorial, and then don't forget to tag on that extra 2 factorial. So if we simplify this, we have 6 factorial over 4 factorial, 2 factorial. So let's write this out. 6 factorial is 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. 4 factorial is 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And then don't forget we have that 2 factorial, so 2 times 1. So let's cancel out anything that we have that's same in the top and the bottom. All right, so now we have a 6 and 5 in the top and a 2 and the 1 in the bottom. The nice thing here is that we can actually simplify. If we have 6 in top and 2 in bottom, 2 goes into 6 3 times. And then we know that dividing by 1 is not going to make a difference. So watch this carefully. We have 3 times 5 left in the top and nothing left in the bottom. So we end up with 15. Go ahead and let's try out number 3 on our own. Let's just get it set up together. N is 8 and R is 3. So that gives us 8 factorial over 8 minus 3 factorial, and then don't forget that 3 factorial in the end. So I want you guys to try that out, all handwritten, and come with that answer for our class. All right, a group of seniors and 7 seniors, 5 juniors, and 4 sophomores have volunteered to be peer tutors. Mr. Picard needs to choose 12 out of the group. How many ways can the students be chosen? All right, so first we need to add up and figure out how many total we have. So we have 7, 5, and 4. That's going to give us a total of 16. So our N is 16, and we're choosing 12. So this is a combination. It doesn't matter how many or what order he chooses them in. They're all going to come into the room together and they're going to just tutor. So this makes it a combination. So we're going to have 16. It's a combination of 12. So we have 16 factorial over 16 minus 12 factorial, and then we have that additional 12 factorial on the bottom. So let's go ahead and write this out. 16 factorial, remember we're going to write it all the way out, multiplying down to 1. All right, and then on the bottom, oh, we need to simplify that. We get 4 factorial and 12 factorial. So 4 factorial, 4, 3, 2, 1 times 12 factorial. Again, we're going all the way down to 1. Okay, so we're going to cancel out anything that's a duplicate. I'm going to start with the 12s because I know that I'm going to be able to cancel a lot right through here. All right, so now we're looking just at this part at the beginning. It's really important that you write neatly so that you can see what you're left over with. We're going to do some simplifying again. 16 and 4, I know 4 goes in 4 times to 16. 3 is going to go in 5 times to 15. And 2 is going to go in 17 times, but 7 times. And all right, so what we have left is 4 times 5 times 7 times 13. So we end up with 1,820 different ways that Mr. Picard can pick math tutors. All right, so again, it's just a lot of the canceling out and watching for anything that's left over. You and 6 friends are going to eat lunch. You can only take 2 people with you in your car. How many different combinations of friends can ride with you? Well, you have 6 friends to choose from, and you're going to pick 2. So we have 6 factorial over 4 minus 2 factorial, and then another 2 factorial. So simplified, we end up with 2 factorial and 2 factorial on the bottom. Oops, sorry about that. We have a little mistake in there. Hope you didn't write in pen. We have 6 minus 2 factorial and then 2 factorial. So that leaves us with 4 factorial, 2 factorial. Sorry about that, guys. So let's write this out. 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 over 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 times 2 times 1. Okay, so cancel out anything that we can. 4s, the 3s, the 2s, the 1s. Again, we know that dividing by 1 is not going to change it, and we can simplify the 6 and the 2 into a 3 on the top. So there are 15 different ways that you can choose friends to ride with you. Okay, so let's see here. I want you guys to try out number 6 on your own. Pause the video right now and come back with that for class. Actually, you pause there, finish this problem, and then we're going to start back up in class with determining permutations or combinations. Don't forget to go on and take your Schoology quiz, and we'll see you guys in class.